Russian experts like to say that the only person that knows what Putin is thinking is Putin himself. He's inscrutable. It's very difficult to know what his intentions are and what his plans are. So it's very hard to say where this will end. I think that at this point, there's several questions. One is whether the very heavy sanctions that are being put in place by the US and its Western allies, whether those would be sufficient to deter Russia. I don't necessarily think that they would be, particularly if you look at the broader picture, where, for example, we have seen that European dependence on Russian oil supplies dies hard, in the sense that even today, several days after the invasion began, there are indications that Russian energy supplies continue to flow into Europe. European energy companies have not stopped importing energy from Russia and don't appear to plan to anytime soon. So that could clearly undermine a sanctions regime if you're not sanctioning what would really be Russia's most important economic sector, that being the energy sector. The other point, I think, is whether we will see any new openings for diplomacy. It seems like many years ago at this point, but just a few days ago, we received word that President Biden was open to a summit with President Putin next week, but only if there was not going to be a Russian invasion, and now there has been one. So clearly that summit is off, but there has been high-level diplomacy. Of course, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had a call with Putin recently. The Chinese president spoke with President Putin. So clearly, key players are trying to urge President Putin to slow down, to de-escalate. But I think at this point, it comes down to Putin himself. I don't necessarily think at this point, and in the immediate term, he would be amenable to diplomatic pressure, just because this invasion, unfortunately, seems to be full scale at this point. But since there's so much uncertainty and we don't know how far he wants to go, that clearly makes it more difficult to predict end games. And it certainly makes things very difficult for so many, particularly the Ukrainian people, who are very scared and don't know what to expect. And of course, certainly for markets as well, which are having to deal with this very strong degree of unpredictability and uncertainty. So just a lot of uncertainty right now.